So I'm going to give a quick visual description. I am a white butch trans woman with curly red hair. I'm wearing glasses and a black button down printed with crow skull. Behind me, there is a white wall and the back of my gray couch. I'm calling in today from Minnesota on the lands of the Dakota and the Ojibwe people. Medusa with the head of Percy, fiberglass reinforced resin, Luciano Garbahi, 2008. 1. I do not want to speak about the beginning of this story, where my scalp a wreath or crown of mouths fill. I would not open, but you already know the myth. Rape that made the body punishment for itself. 2. Instead, begin with the body itself, a kind of ending a new mythology, the severance of 2 heads where her thighs meet. No gash, sex, mouth into injury, no coiled viper against her groin. Instead, a pale gap in Stone's imagination, a dream. My body swallows each pill, a small cut, a slow beheading. 3. My mother says her first crime was beauty, that my father's with how he imagined himself a god. Call me blood curse, fair hair shriveled and sprouting teeth stain across the temple floor. Do not make me tell this story without a forked tongue. Before me, there was a mother and a god. I mean, a man and a choice. Imagine her body, a home. Call my father burglar. My birth a breaking and entering. At least this crime gives a name to the shatter, invents a reason for the curse birthed into this body. 4. Oh, serpent-headed girl, mirror that statues its reflection. I blink, and all the stonework shatters. I sweep a sea of mirrors into my palm, and suddenly I'm wearing my mother's face. All these failed children sharpened into my skin. The bathroom, flood of tiny cardinal cells that divide and twine scarlet thread slithering down my wrist. 5. My family is the myth of an animal devouring itself. What is an Ouroboros but a body or a story without a beginning or an end? Medusa braids her fingers through her ending soft brown hair and takes off his head. The story swallows its first word, forgets where it's going. My mother disowns me, and suddenly I am a folk tale. Am I the serpent-headed girl, or her endless reflection, or the winged mare birthed forth from her blood, child of slaughter, wound from the mouth of a wound? 6. I drag the thread of scarlet feathers from my palm and watch my body's unbraiding. How a gene, when pulled, unravels a child, my DNA, a 2-tailed snake swallowing my father's face. I see Perseus' head in Medusa's hand, and no transition like this. To hold a violent man's face in your hands, to set him and his blood aside. In the dream where I wake up in my physics class naked, the most surprising thing is how, for one, my naked body is not the most brutal science in the room. The teacher is giving a lecture on spring mechanics, and all of the softest examples fill his mouth: trampoline, pogo stick, pinball machine. He asks the class for more examples, and all I can think of is the helix of wire buried in the cabinet drawer. from when we unloaded the barrel of my father's throat and no one is answering. So I say, a bow and arrow, the trigger of a gun, the way skin rebounds after a father's fist. Thank you.